Jojo, what up y'all? Let's jump into 3 of the best ultimate Ajax builds that you guys can be doing, and these will work for pretty much everything. So we'll have one for doing mobs, we'll have one for just straight up face tanking any boss, and then the third one will be a DPS build, and that one will also be for killing bosses. Now since the beginning of first Descendant coming out, I've literally only been playing Ajax, got him fully crystallized, got everything on him. So I've tried a lot of different things, you know, whether that's defense, whether that's HP, you know, so I definitely think these builds will help out anybody, whether you're playing Ultimate Ajax or Ajax himself. So for the first build, this one's going to be our defense build. So this one I typically use just for mobbing, whether you're running through infiltrations, whether, you know, if you're trying to grind up some void shards, or, you know, if you're just trying to be more of like a support, add clear type of person. I think this is a super fun build to do. So we got the void charge, got the non-attribute, we're gonna have the skill expansion. Now one cool thing about this build too that I don't add in the video, you can also use this to reflect damage. So instead of void charge, you can throw on life barrier. And if you do that, you basically could just face tank bosses as well. Just kind of throw down the life barrier, and as the bosses smack the life barrier, they actually get beat up by reflection damage without you even having to shoot a bullet. So I definitely think that's a pretty fun build. As you can see there, you could do the focus on non-attribute if you want even more skill cooldown. You'll just be doing your skills back to back. Or, you know, you could throw on the attribute specialist if you want more skill power in general. Now on the components, you want to basically just go for all defense. So as you can see at base, we have about 140,000 defense. Once your shield gets broken with the Iron Will, it'll take you up to about 180,000. Now I'm pretty sure they may have did something in the new Valby update, because I think I was having like around 130k base defense on this build. Now it shot up to 140k, and then now when my shield gets broken, I have around 183k base defense. Now the reason being having so much defense, because obviously you don't even need that much defense, you know, it's probably a little bit better to get some more health. But the reason being why this is so good against ads is because all of his abilities scale off of defense. So if you want to be doing a ton of skill power and you want to clear ads quick, you just need a bunch of defense. You know, so as you can see, expulsion, the void jump, the barrier, all of it is going based off of defense. So, you know, the more defense you have, the longer the barrier stays up. More defense you have, longer your cube stays up. And then, you know, of course, you know, off of the jump, you get more damage. Off of the expulsion, you get more damage that way too. Now, what I will throw in as well, because I know a lot of people like, you know, you don't need that much defense, it doesn't scale as high and things like that. As long as you're using it, you know, for damage as well as defense itself, I don't think it's that bad. But, you know, like I said, it probably would be better, like if you're going for more of a tankier type of thing, I would probably try to get more HP. But even with the defense, you know, I'll be in there face tanking bosses. You don't have as long as a life bar, but they still don't do enough damage to you for it to make any difference. Now on the reactor, I would probably say you want to go for skill cooldown, you know, skill critical hit, anything that has to do with skill power. I haven't been able to find a better reactor, or I really haven't even been looking all like that, but you definitely would probably want to go with skill cooldown, probably more skill power. Now for our HP build, we're going to be doing something like this. We're going to be rocking body enhancement, overwhelming HP. Now I do have shot focus added into this build, only because I'm not going to be doing as much skill power, like skill power attacks. I'm going to be more focused on just staying alive, face tanking, being in the way. So having that shot focus, which gives you another 15% firearm attack, minus 15% skill power, it's a pretty good addition to have in there, especially if you want to just do more overall raw damage without having to focus so much on your abilities. So I definitely like this build as well. Now what I will do is I'll kind of go in and show you guys how tanky it is against bosses. Me personally, I typically just do private infiltrations because the boss is pretty easy to kill for me. But if you're doing anything like obstructor and higher, then you'll have to go into a public infiltration. So yeah, I think the build is super duper good for surviving either way, but especially if you're doing private infiltrations where the boss is weakened, they don't do as much damage. This build, like, you could literally put the controller down and go grab a snack, get you something to eat, come back, and you probably still wouldn't be dead. So I definitely like the HP setup. Now, if you wanted to go with more defense or you wanted to go with more range, you can of course do that. I personally like the HP collector in there, so that way you don't have to necessarily run around every 5 seconds looking for roly-polies. But of course, there's other stuff that you could do too, so kind of whatever fits your needs or whatever it is that you're looking for out of the build, you can kind of add things in. Even if you want to take that shot focus out, maybe go with more MP, maybe go with even more defense. It's completely up to you. But what I would say is, make sure you have HP components on. So I have different components for each build that I'm doing. So for a defense build, I'm rocking defense components. For a HP build, I'm rocking HP components. Now, I could have got better components. This is all really just RNG. If I can get max HP, max shield on that, maybe. If I can get max HP, max shield, that's what you'll be looking for. Now, the reason why we're rocking like increased shield and looking for max shield, because the body enhancement as well as the overwhelming HP, it converts some of your shield into HP. So if you can look for more shield or have increased shields, it's really not that bad. Or if you want to try to get more defense through components, you can even throw on the tomb set. That'll give you another 25% defense. And then if you want to throw in like a skill expansion non-attribute type of thing instead of HP collector and shot focus, you'll still probably be able to get some decent damage out of your skills. Now, as far as like the HP, 30,000 HP I think is more than enough. We could definitely even get higher than that. 50,000 HP, you're just not even going to be taking any damage. It's not even going to be real. So more HP that you can get on your components, or if you want to throw more HP into the actual build, it's fully up to you. Me personally, I'm kind of pretty good at staying alive, just with bosses. I know the abilities, I know what they're going to do already. I fought them so many times. So I really don't look for, outrageous amounts of HP. You definitely want more than like 20k on this build, 25k. And then you're literally just chilling. I don't really see you dying to anything, unless you're specifically standing in fire or you're just, standing inside of poison. You might get beat up that way. Now, one other thing too, because in the new update when Valby came out, they said they fixed like some of the ultimate mods and some of the yellow mods. So as you can see, I'm trying to equip other things that I clearly have the capacity for, but it still doesn't allow me to equip them. So I'm thinking that some of the yellow modules are showing the wrong amounts, like while you're equipping them. And then, even if you have enough module capacity, it still doesn't allow you to equip other things, which is kind of weird. Down in the comments, let me know if you guys are having this issue, because it doesn't make any sense. I tried to equip something that had 16 capacity, but I had like 22 capacity open, and it still doesn't let me equip it. So not 100% sure, but yeah, I would try to get as much HP as you can on this build. You can maybe even try to go with more MP, but I honestly don't think it really matters all like that. I would just say try to go for HP and go for shield, and you're probably just absolutely chilling. Now, another thing about the HP face tank build, it's going to be really good for doing, hard infiltrations. Obviously, that's easy. Going to be good for doing like hard bosses, but it's also good for doing those void shard bosses, and those are super duper annoying. Some of those you run out of bullets like 2 minutes into the fight. You're out of bullets on all guns. But if you have something that you can face tank more damage, you can maybe throw on some more skill power, and you can kind of just be in there doing your skills as opposed to having to shoot bullets. So as you can see, you know, I would play with these builds. Well, this build, I would play with it. You know, try to equip modules on there that's going to give you more shield, more HP. Now going into the third build, which is going to be our boss build, we're going to be rocking the matrix recomputation on this one. What that's going to do is each time you do expulsion, it grants a buff. Now that mixed with passionate sponsor, each time you do passionate sponsor, whenever you hit somebody with a buff, you're going to get extra firearm attack. So this boss build, what we're going to be doing is just straight firearm attack. So the main components that you're going to need for this one is going to be matrix recomputation, passionate sponsor, and then you're going to need shot focus, which is going to give you another 15% firearm attack, minus 15% skill power. And this is perfect, especially if you're doing just private infiltrations. Since the boss gets weakened anyways, you don't need as much defense or as much HP. I mean, granted, the more HP, of course, the more tankier you're going to be, you know, more survivability. But if you are just good at fighting bosses in the first place, trust me, you don't need as much HP as you think. You just need to, you know, dodge abilities, maneuver around. And then, of course, as long as you're killing the ads, they'll drop HP. And then if you even want to rock something like HP Collector, it'll make it even easier for you to survive. Now, if you're doing public infiltrations, I would take out like the HP Collector, throw on the maximum range, so then that way you don't have to be as close to people in order to hit them with that buff. And then what I like to do is I actually like to rock a 2 set of the Decimator and a 2 set of the Acrobat. And that's going to give you another 5.1% firearm crit, and then another 2.8% firearm attack. So that mixed with passionate sponsor, matrix recomputation, and shot focus, you're just doing some insane amount of firearm attack. Down in the comments, let me know if you guys have been rocking the matrix recomputation or how you guys are doing that. I think it's a super duper fun module to have on AJAX. Now also too, if you wanted to rock that on like the HP build or even on like the ad build, then you can kind of just be a tanky support type of AJAX. You know, you'll be able to keep people up with the buffs, and then every single time that you revive somebody, you know, they'll get a buff that way too. So they're just literally buffed up. Now as far as the weapons, I typically go with the Tamer. Tamer just absolutely annihilates, as I'm sure everybody knows now. And then once you get those good old crystallizations in them, you can get some serious firearm attack on this boss build. Now, one thing I'll add in, the Eternal Willpower actually has more base firearm attack than the Tamer. So if you have that upgraded, you got that crystallized, then you may be able to do even more damage on this build by rocking the Eternal Willpower. Now, of course, there's some other guns that you can use too, you know, the Thunder Cage, if you got a Python. I personally like the Clairvoyance, only because it's really good against ads. You can freeze them with the level 3. And then, you know, so that way you don't have to use all your Tamer bullets shooting at ads. You can kind of just use this. I also like it too, doing like infiltrations or doing like, you know, anything that you're killing mobs. The Clairvoyance is really good because you can just hold down that beam and just pretty much go to work with it. So definitely think that's a really good gun to rock. And then my third gun, which I really don't even use. Usually I like the Afterglow sword. You know, I'll rock the Singapores, the rocket launcher. You can rock the Vestibule rocket launcher, or however you pronounce it. So there's a couple different things you could throw in there. But like I said, I don't even really use my third gun unless I'm just fully out of bullets on literally everything. But yeah, as you can see, you get some extreme damage rocking the boss build. And the cool thing about it too is, especially like I was saying, if you're doing private infiltrations, the boss gets weakened anyways. So, you know, I was able to kill the boss with the HP and with the defense build, but with this one specifically, you know, with the matrix recomp and the shot focus, you're killing bosses with 5-6 minutes left, 7 minutes left. So definitely super strong. So what we're gonna do, let's jump into the laboratory now. On the defense build, this is what it's looking like skill power wise. You're pretty much just going to be absolutely wiping everything out. And a lot of the times too, whenever you're fighting, going through infiltrations, people are already shooting, so you'll probably just be one-shotting everything. Now, if you have the if you have your buff to where your abilities are empowered, you'll be able to do the jump 2 times. So what you'll do is you'll jump in, expulsion, jump in again, and that basically just wipes out everything. So I definitely think the defense build, super duper fun, super duper easy to use, especially for just doing like infiltrations or doing mobs. Now for the HP build, what we'll do is we'll go inside of a boss fight here, and then we'll kind of just see how long it takes for us to die. As you can see there, I had 49,000 HP. I changed around my modules a little bit just to get more HP. You know, so if you got 50,000 HP, 30k defense, you're really not taking any damage at all. You see, and this is me standing inside a poison, you know, just getting smacked by the abilities. So you can only imagine, you know, if you're actually walking around, dodging the abilities, you really shouldn't have any problems with survival at all. And then especially too, you know, if you have HP collector, that's going to be another way for you to gain HP. Or if you're just picking up the HP off of the ground, you're literally chilling. For some reason with overwhelming HP, whenever you do this on the HP build, you just join in the missions half life already for some reason. Down in the comments, let me know if you guys are having that issue. I don't know if it's a glitch. I don't know if that is a part of the module. I mean, it doesn't say it on there, but yeah, you'll just join in half life. Now for the boss build, you'll have way less life. You know, you're looking at 20,000 life, 40,000 defense. Like I said, I didn't get the best rolls on these components. They didn't all have like shield, or they didn't all have HP. So you definitely could probably pull like 25 to 30k HP even out of this boss build. But you know, even doing Mr. Executioner here, and you know, it really will work for any boss, doesn't really matter. I think any boss under Obstructor, you know, Swamp Walker, Pyro, Dead Bride, this build just shreds them. And especially too, like instead of doing a public infiltration, you know, you might get newer people, or you know, people who maybe haven't perfected their build, or they might actually be on that boss for the first time. It may take you longer, you know, publicly to actually kill these easy bosses or these beginner bosses. I would definitely do all of these private on this build, and you're just literally just shredding them to death. Like, there's just, it's not even fair. You know what I mean? So, like I said, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that sub button. These are like my 3 favorite builds on AJAX. Since this video, I've actually already gotten all of the ultimates. I grinded them all out. So I'm going to show you guys some good tips on things that you want to do to grind them out faster, especially if you don't want to spend $100 per ultimate, which I definitely didn't buy a singular one. And yeah, I'll go over like some good missions to do, ways to farm multiple things at a time. Like instead of you target farming like one single thing, you can grind for like 2 different ultimate things at a time. Or in some cases, you can grind for 3 of them at a time. So I'll definitely have some good tips for you guys. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that sub button. But yeah, like I said, this build absolutely shreds. As you can see, this is just the Executioner. Obviously, he's easy, but I have another build video that came out where I showed shot focus. And on that one, I end up killing the Swamp Walker. And all of these, you'll probably easily kill the boss with like 5, 6, 7 minutes left. So hopefully this video helps you guys out. As always, I appreciate you guys checking out the vid, and I'll see you on that next one. Peace.